world runs after such things. And I think that's another thing we have to continue to remember we're God's children. And He's going to take care of us. No matter what the issue is, He's going to take care of us. And I think it all summed up in verse 31. It says, "But seek His kingdom, and these things will be given to you as well." And I think that's true. You know, I look at the life of the Apostle Paul. You know, the first thing we actually begin to read about the Apostle Paul is that he was a very learned Jew. And he was a very devoted Jew. There's no telling how many people, and we have no record of it, of how many people he put in prison, and probably, besides, we know he was at the stoning of Stephen, but no telling how many other Christians that he put to death. The reason I bring that up is, you know, we've all done things that we're not proud of. Pardon me. And if we've asked for forgiveness, God said He's going to forgive us and remember that sin no more. And we have to take that as an assurance that He's going to do that. But we have to end up going back and seek His kingdom, and then all the rest of this is going to be added to us. You know, when Paul was on the road to Damascus, and the light shone around him, and he ended up being blind for 3 days. He had a lot of time in those 3 days to think about what he needed to do and how he needed to change his life. And he went 360 degrees. To the point that he ended up suffering persecution. And Christ tells us that we may suffer that same persecution or certain amounts of persecution. You know, you may be called names because you're a member of the Church of Christ. You may have people laugh at you. You may have people commenting things that says, well, you're the only ones that think you're going to heaven. No. We're doing our best to try to live according to what we have presented to us. And they can do the same thing. He finishes up in this particular chapter of Luke. It says, verse 32 says, "Do not be afraid, little flock, for your Father has been pleased to give you the kingdom." He tells them, he says, "Sell your possessions and give to the poor. Provide purses for yourself that they will not wear out, a treasure in heaven that will never fail. There's no thief coming near and no moth to destroy. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also." You know, he pretty point blank tells us, you know, that what we accumulate here on this earth is going to be left for someone else. You know, we've all had the displeasure probably of having to go in and clean out the house, storage rooms, things of loved ones. It's not a pleasant job. You see you find the little mementos that they thought at the time they were alive was a great treasure to them. But once they're gone, that's something else for someone else to have to deal with. I was watching a program the other day, and it says, if you think your children want the things in your house, you're wrong. They don't. My wife and I have decided periodically we will purge and get rid of some things. Some of the things that we thought at one point were pretty precious to us. but they're not near as precious the older we get. You know. But as I say, to end the lesson, we need to end up making sure that we read the Bible to the point that we know what we're supposed to be doing, and then we're supposed to do it. Thank you for your attention, and I don't know who's next week. I'm going to try to do another one before we finish this series of lessons, but I appreciate your attention tonight. Thank you.